Adam Contos, CEO of Remax. We'll start with a win here in my COVID studios at Fort Contos here. Looking across the screen at producer Mark. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing a little stuffy,
Oh,
just a little stuffy today. I'm doing good though.
It's not that,
I'm feeling
it's
great.
not that thing going around, is it?
No, it's not, thankfully. But every time I sneezed or coughed, everyone's looking at me like what do
you're
you
a
got?
freak
Like,
and
it's
you're
just the cold, no fever, nothing. Just a little stuffy here. We got a lot of fires too. I don't know if it has something to play with it here in Colorado.
That could
So,
be.
but
Yeah, we get a lot
hey,
of smoke
I'm
at my
doing great.
house. Yeah, it's the smoke, the weather's changing, the leaves are falling. I don't know. We'll say it's that.
Yeah.
We're not going to mention this COVID thing or anything like that. You look good.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
Thank you. I try.
yeah, keep drinking your tea, buddy. Okay.
That's what I will do. Hey, I'm excited for today's episode. It's Veterans Day, and you and I both love veterans. We have lots of veteran friends, and so today on the show we're gonna interview some guys from VAREP.
I like it. So there you go. There's a great intro. So we have the two founders of VAREP here, Nguyen, who's the co-founder and president of VAREP, served in the U.S. Navy, and Dustin Luce, realtor and other co-founder with VAREP. So what is VAREP? It is a Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals, VAREP. It's a nonprofit, 501c3, HUD-approved housing counseling organization, and their mission is to increase sustainable home ownership, financial literacy education, VA loan awareness, and economic opportunity for our active duty and veteran communities. So welcome, guys. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam. Thank you.
So why'd you guys start this program here, this association? It's a really cool cause. I served in the Marine Corps. I love this. So, I'm pretty excited to have you on. Why'd you start this? What was the impetus behind this?
Adam, when I got out of the Navy and I started working in real estate, and when it came to buying my first home, I remember that journey well, and it was a seed for VAREP years later. Just my experience, and when I bought, I didn't really know anything about the VA loan. When you get out of the military, as the Corps, the same way. Back in the day when we got out, it was sitting there for 3 days, and we weren't there. We were there physically, we weren't there mentally. So a lot of the stuff they told us, it didn't stick with me, and I don't particularly recall them mentioning anything about the VA loan and home ownership. So when I got out there and was my time to buy a home, even working in real estate, I really knew nothing about it. So I went and purchased my first condo in San Diego, and I didn't use the VA loan. And Adam, the reason why I didn't use my VA loan was my lender said, "Son, you're better off with an FHA loan." And I come to find out later that my lack of knowledge, shame on me for not knowing, and that's even worse since I was in the real estate industry, but shame on my lender for steering me away from it, so to speak, right? And so, the FHA loan is great, but for those who served, the VA loan is the best. It's something that we as veterans have earned and probably should at least be consulted with and presented with the option instead of being told that another option is better. So with that, fast forward about 12 years. And during the meltdown of 2008, Dustin and I were business partners. We met over sushi, and so we had a real estate business relationship going. I approached him. I said, you know what? I told him my story, and I looked around and the housing crisis, and I looked around at our big brothers and sisters, the other trade organizations out there, and they were serving a lot of great communities. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, I wanted to give back. Who are you, son? What do you do? Who do you want to serve? And so, it came back to me pretty quick that Asian by birth, but veteran by trade. And so I Googled and nothing came back. No hits came back to organizations specifically made for veteran home ownership. Now, there's a lot of them out there for veteran homelessness, but not sustainable home ownership. So with that said, based upon my experience, I looked at Dustin and I said, you want to join me for this wild ride? And we formed it in 2011, got our 501c3 status in 2012, and here we are.
That's awesome. A great story, Son. And I think a lot of people, especially a lot of veterans, can relate to that. I didn't know about the VA loan originally, and the certificate of eligibility and how any of that works. But you're right; it is an amazing benefit to people that have served and been honorably discharged from our armed forces. I mean, it's just, it's a thank you. It's a thank you. And there's some huge, benefits to exploring that. It, like you said, it may not be exactly the right combination of, the terms and the interest rate, but at the same time, shame on you if you don't look into it, right? I mean, it's a great thing to know. So Dustin, let's jump over to you real quick here. What are you seeing in this organization as far as the impact you guys are able to create in the real estate space? How is that, kind of measuring up to the effort you guys are putting in? And how do you feel as a real estate professional when it comes to being part of this?
Yeah, I think kind of add on to San's story is that what I saw when he brought this to me is I could echo the fact that the real estate practitioners, at least in the market I was in, most of them didn't understand the VA loan benefit. It was the grandfather's VA loan, and it's no longer your grandfather's VA loan. A lot has changed, a lot of questions about appraisals and things like that. So, when we were talking, we realized that there's a lot of misnomers. It's not necessarily, that people are purposefully pushing veterans away from that benefit, but it's that they're not being educated properly. There was nobody out there telling them this is how the product works. Also, being a civilian, not knowing what a veteran went through, right? And now learning about TAP and learning about the exit program and the lack of education and stuff like that. So it was good for me as a civilian and a real estate practitioner to learn these things, to learn the culture, the military culture, which is a huge part of VAREP and our national conferences and getting together and getting to hear those stories. But the impact has been huge. Today, if you want me to give you some numbers, we're getting prepped for our national conference that we do every year. So we always pull our stats. I mean, I can give you some stats and impact. And to preface, our focus is the real estate community, teaching and equipping military-focused real estate practitioners, lenders, realtors, to go out and help veterans directly, right? So that's the end game. It's the boots on the ground to help the veterans that need the help. So we have right now 36 chapters in 19 states. We have over 7,000 members of VAREP that are real estate practitioners. About 70% are veterans themselves. The other 30% are patriots, what we call civilians who care in our organization, that are giving back their time in these chapters. So to date, we have a program called VAREP Cares. We've helped over 2,000 families with financial assistance, with anywhere from financial to filling needs during Christmas, helping with rent, all different things. We've given around $70,000 in housing grants to veterans who are looking to purchase their first home. We've done over 130 veteran housing summits. So think of your home buyer education fair, but being a HUD housing counseling agency, we put those on and we get experts in the room to help. 610 industry educational events. So we have certification courses, we have classes that are going on all the time on our chapter level, as well as podcasts like this that we're on right now. So, what does that lead to in impact directly? We track these things, being a HUD housing counseling agency. So over 6,000 low to moderate income housing counseling inquiries to date, and over 2,000 LMI and veteran families that have been helped through our housing counseling program. So whether it be them ending up into homeownership or even coming from homelessness, we've got stories of veterans who were homeless and then ended up getting into homeownership going through our programs. So those are just some of the stats and numbers and impact.
Wow. So I have a question for you. You look at and we have a lot of real estate agents that listen to this podcast. You look at their perspective, and maybe they have or have not heard about VA rep. How could they get involved, and what is the benefit to being a realtor and working with this program?
I think that, well, first and foremost, there are a good amount of REMAX agents. So a big shout out to you and your agents that are part of VA Rep at the local chapter level, whether it's just a general membership or whether they're on our local board of directors for each chapter. They are participating, but if they are not, and if there's not a chapter nearby, they can go to our website, varep.net, and they can click. If there's not a chapter there, they can inquire about starting a chapter. Or if there is a chapter, they can go and reach out to the local board of directors, and they can participate. I can't emphasize the impact that will make not within their own lives, being able to take their passion to serve the local military and veteran communities in many different ways, but also in the lives that they serve. So whether them going and doing a VA Rep Cares event, feeding the homeless, whether it's collecting blankets, when it's cold, to participating in educational fairs or fundraising so they can help local veteran families. That's how those are just some of the ways and some of the benefits that they get by being part of the local chapter. But as far as the general membership, as far as VA Rep National, obviously their membership, what they get is they get the quarterly. We have a newsletter that's a lot informational and educational that helps their business grow. We have a lot of great informational articles in there that they can use as added to their tool belt of resources. They get to participate and actually, walk the halls of Congress once a year at the political, at our policy conference, and actually advocate the some of the positions to remove the barriers for veteran and military home ownership. So they get to do a lot of cool things, Adam, being part of the.
I love this. Yeah. I love this so much, Son. And I mean, you and I kind of, we've had that military indoctrination, and Dustin, you have done such an amazing job of helping the military community from the patriot community. So, for a real estate agent, obviously real estate agents are out there looking for buyers and sellers, people to help fulfill the American dream through home ownership. And talking to a veteran, we live heavily on trust, don't we? I mean, there's a lot of trust, a lot of reliance on, okay, you're here to help me, and so I want to do business with you. How does that kind of play into this? Because that's the first thing I think of when I look at an organization like this is a bunch of people that I could sit down and, like you guys, have sushi with, or have a beer, or share some war stories, or just have some fun with, knowing these people care. I mean, how does that fit into the culture here? Tell me about that.
Yeah, in culture is a perfect term, the affinity, right? So being part of an organization where you're able to give back. I mean, I've heard it, and Son's heard it countless times. Specifically veterans coming up to us and saying, you know what, I was looking for something to get involved in. I'm in real estate, and that's great, and I help my clients, but I was looking for something to get involved in that I can give back and be back into that brotherhood, that camaraderie. So, when you put service first and you seek to be able to give back to people, and then you're putting it so in such a focused way, like VA Rep, it helps the heart, but then it does help business too, right? Because if you're giving back and you're focusing on the veteran community, you end up becoming, one of the people in the community people can trust and say, hey, if I have an issue with the VA loan, or if I need help with, financial literacy or anything like that, they know who to go to.
I'd like to add to that as well. And this is something that Dustin, as a civilian in the VA rep culture, we have veterans like myself and you, Adam, and then we have Dustin as a civilian but wants to give back, so we call them patriots. And so in our organization, if you're a patriot, you learn as you're a part of VA rep, you interact with veterans and you learn the lingo. You learn the abbreviations, because God knows there's a bunch of abbreviations that we go by, right? And you learn Marines speaking short, choppy sentences, and Air Force are, love their food, gourmet. I'm just teasing, and but those are the things that I think that that a patriot can be with our organization, and that could actually add to their rapport when they are serving the military and veteran community. And one of the things that I hate when someone who's not a veteran comes and they try to speak the lingo and try to act the culture, but when they really don't know anything. I'd rather them be themselves, right? And I would teach them. But I think the heads up for the people that are a part of VA Rep, they already know and are already integrated, and that just totally helps them out.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of times civilians come in and they're asked, did you serve?
Right.
Were you in the military? And I hear civilians all the time try to justify, here's why I didn't serve, right? And I'm like, stop it, right? That doesn't go anywhere. What are you doing today, right? What are you doing today to give back? And that's why I tell the civilians in the organization, I said, stop with that, commentary. Tell them what you're doing today. Tell them I'm proud to be involved with an organization like VA Rep or the Legion or the VFW or Wounded Warriors or whatever it may be, right? Start giving back. This is your opportunity to serve.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's such great points here. The fact that you weren't in the military does not mean that anybody thinks anything less of you. We all have to give back to our communities in a different way. And some people choose to do it that way. Some people choose to do it other ways. But bottom line is we all have to take care of each other as Americans, as citizens, as people in the real estate community, because that's really what the real estate community is about, is helping people. So it's very heartwarming to hear how you really, and through I look on your website and your materials, you lead with service, and that's so important. And you mentioned training a couple times. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the aspects of training that people could look forward to? Because agents, realtors love to learn so that you can redeploy those things and build your business and help people. What kind of training do you have?
There's many levels of training. So if we go from the chapter level, the chapter does education. We have certain hurdles that we ask the chapter to meet every year. Education is one of them, doing lunch and learns, things like that on the chapter level. We have, like we mentioned before, we have podcasts where we'll interview the VA. We'll interview different segments in the industry that deal with veteran housing issues. We've had the VA on, we've had HUD on, even talking about HUD Bash. In fact, our conference, we're going to have HUD Bash, SSVF. We're going to talk about suicide awareness because we do have a program in regards to that too. But then we also have certification courses. So we have our prime course is the MVHC, that's the Military and Veteran Housing Certification. It's our own course. Son wrote it with a team. And so it's a 8-hour certification.
Yeah. Some states is 7, some states is 7, some states is 8. I believe we have CE in 12 states right now, and it's great. It's great information. It starts out, as a matter of fact, chapter 1 is about rate, rank, and respect. It's about military culture, right? So we teach them that, then we teach them the VA loan in detail, and then we finish it off with writing the best VA offer for real estate agents. So it's a complete course. That's a great course. We also have a shorter course on the SCRA, the Service Members Civil Relief Act. We have one on PCS, Know Your Orders. And it goes on our quarterly, or we're trying to make it monthly now for 2021. We have a podcast series. We call it VA Rap. Right. And so we have that, and we have subject matter experts on. I think the last one we had was with the Blue Navy
the Navy Blue Water.
The Navy Blue Water Act on. So
yeah,
just lots of great content that we and us at the national level and the chapter level just love to get out there to the practitioners to just seriously continue to arm them with the right resources to use.
Yeah, and let me say he mentioned the Navy Blue Water Act. So, in the industry this year, a lot of people should be aware, and if they're not, we're helping them become aware that there's no cap on the VA loan now. That bleeds two things together that we're involved in. Policy, we're in DC every year, and we were involved in that. Our legislative committee was heavily involved in that legislation. We got asked to the table to help them figure that bill out, and kind of a benefit that came out of that was adjustment to how the VA loan works and the cap no longer being there to that loan. So we've done education on that and have the subject matter experts on to talk about it.
Awesome. Great information, great value for real estate agents and for veterans. So this is a great program. I can't encourage my listeners enough. Go check it out. VAREP.net. I was just on the website. It's fantastic. There's a lot of really good information, as well as some reminders of how we need to treat ourselves and others, and understand our mental well-being and things like that. So I have a question I ask everybody that is on this show. It's called Start with a Win. So we would like to know from you gentlemen, how do you each start your day with a win?
So for me, it's weaponizing myself in the morning. And so the weaponization for me would be to focus on my body, my being, my spiritual connection, my balance, my connection with my family, and then business. So body, move my body, get a workout in and sweat. Being, connect with God, read scripture, do my devotions, write about it. Connection with my family, show them gratitude, send them letters, make sure I'm connecting with the kids before they leave for the day. That fills my emotional tank. That gives me a lot of power in the morning, and getting all that done, it's all surrounding me, getting myself ready for the day. So then I can go out and I can be of service to others.
Awesome. Son?
Yeah, for me, it's similar to that. When I wake up in the morning, probably hit the snooze button about 2 or 3 times, and then I get up, thankful that I'm alive in one piece. But I immediately go to my calendar and I look what's on tap that day. For me, I'm just highly laser focused, right? And saying, okay, so these are the 4 appointments I have this day. Am I prepared for that? And if I'm not, how do I get myself prepared quickly for that? And most of the time I am prepared for it. When I want to go over it again in my head, as I've taken, doing my morning routine, taking my shower again, getting ready and for the day. So those are the specific things. And if I can leave my house in the morning feeling that I am equipped with the right resources and prepared to face the day, then I'm good. That's my win.
Awesome. Son, Dustin, thank you so much for being on Start with a Win. We appreciate all you guys do. Son, thank you for your service in the United States Navy to our country. And thanks for all you guys are doing for our community of veterans, as well as the real estate community itself. So we appreciate you being on here. Again, everybody check out VAREP.net.
Well, thank you for having us. And thank you, Adam, for your service in the Corps.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam. Thanks for letting us share our message on here.